occurring on Gura properties and promote a safer environment for our families. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Okay, it's 6:33 in the morning. That's iConnect time. Swing by the nearest iConnect and ask them how they're going to save money on your mobile and internet plans.
65 years ago, Bank Pacific opened its doors to our community. As we celebrate, we offer you a special 65th anniversary personal loan rate for as low as 4.65% for travel, back to school, a wedding. Do whatever you want with the money. We just want to give it to you for as low as 4.65% APR. It's our birthday present to you.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC, conditions apply.
It's back to school, or as the man on the television show says, back to school, back to school. It was an Adam Sandler bit. I'll remember the whole thing and tell it to you a little bit later on. And for your back to school and all of the outdoor stuff that you've got to do and all the running around for protractors and book bags and pencil cases and all of that stuff, may I recommend that you stop by Wendy's as well. They got the Biggie Bag. It's $5. The perfect back-to-school meal for kids and parents that are going to be on the go. Get back to school with the Biggie value. For $5, a big bacon double stack. Now, if that was all that was in the bag, you'd be happy. But there's more. They add 4-piece nuggets. They got fries and a drink. This is going to feed everybody in the car for $5. No problem. Fill them up with a $5 Big Bag at Wendy's. Now, that's better.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Mark Beneventi of Santa Rita, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voice of our community and sharing thoughts and issues that affect us all. It all boils down to our people, our land. Protei Igumama. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
I was looking at the traffic gizmo a second ago, and it did not look encouraging. As I said, the worst part of it looked like it was going up to Anderson Air Force Base, and a little bit of a slowdown at the gate. That looks like it is beginning to subside right now, and that's all right. But we're starting to see traffic starting to busy up on the way in from around where the Payless up in Dedido is onto the intersection of 1 and 3, and then Route 16 and Route 16 and 1 working busy as well. Should be smooth until you get past what is this now? The intersection at 10 Alpha. With a lot of traffic trying to get onto Marine Corps Drive from around Home Depot and the Guam International Airport area. Don't know what's going on over by Three Squares, the Sagua Maniago area. I got northbound traffic slowing down. Is it time for church? Could be. St. Anthony School and the church looking like it's a little bit busy at that intersection as well. You got anything happening? You see floods? You see some? If you got floods, do me a favor. I need pictures. Send me the artwork. 988-5874. Normally at this time of day, I say thanks very much for sending me pictures of your sunrises and all of that. In fact, Pam Duvall online sent me a picture on the WhatsApp of what sunrise is trying to look like over at her place, and it's going to be tricky for people that want to see it come up. The sun is already up in Jigo, and that's as bright as it is right now up there. But like I said, if you see any flooding out there, send me pictures on the WhatsApp 988-5874. You see something other motorists need to know about, or it's just interesting because we all like it when the weather gets interesting around here, don't we? It wasn't that long ago. Was it January, February? You remember we had all of the little bit of rain. It got real blustery out here for a couple of days, and they had all of that flooding down south in Mauricio.
Yeah,
and you could see the huge swollen culverts that they had a hard time pushing water through because of all of the bamboo out there and it spill over onto the streets. That made for some really, really interesting videos. So if you got stuff like that out there, 988-5874. I'd also would suggest that you not go. It's not storm time, but we do have high seas and hazardous surf out there. So I don't need you going by and shooting pictures of some crazy wave action and water spilling over from the ocean onto the land.
No, but a good place to get some of those shots is over at Antelope because they're right out there on the little point. So
that is
some
true.
Nice wave action.
That is true. I wonder if we'll get that picture, that one capture that we got last week. Remember when it was lightning strikes they had one like right over the Antelope area, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think that was about the same time that somebody was putting the signature on a GG1 personnel request. 6:38 in the morning, 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. Looks like we've got everybody online. Ismail says on August the 6th, 2011, 38 warriors, including 15 from SEAL Team 6, lost their lives in Afghanistan in Operation Extortion 17. Never forget, he says. But in further news, happy birthday, Pam Duvall. And I suppose we've got enough internet going right now. We can go ahead and run the music. Not that. No, I was thinking about the Cheers thing. Let me say good morning to everybody.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
Yeah. Sandra De Leon Guerrero.
You want to go where we
Says that round 4, every once in a while you got to kick the machine and make it go work again. As I said, John B. St. Nicholas is online. Nick Prolosky. Landon Aidlet is online. Probably watching over at his weather center to see if we're getting the word out to everybody. And yeah, best as we possibly can here. We know what's happening with watches and warnings and telling everybody that it is expected to be rainy over the next couple of days. And I'm kind of curious, what they say we had yesterday, 8 inches of rain?
We had up to 7 inches around some parts of Guam since last Friday.
Since last Friday, okay.
Yeah.
How does that compare for all of July or all of June?
How about for the last 3 months?
Yeah.
Actually, even
So
more
that's
than that.
that's what I'm curious about this morning is how much rain in just the last few days since the month of August. We've had more rain, I want to say, than we had in July and maybe
Absolutely,
June.
yeah.
But I just don't know what the numbers are. Landon, maybe you could put that together for me, a special request from the National Weather Service. Lady D's online. Tom Tahadzi there. Joe Ed Cruz says, "Am I number one?" I don't know. You could be. You know what? If you feel like you are, then you are. Dave Torrey is online as well, and James Howard. I knew that Tom Tahadzi was there. David Evans, one of my favorite guitar players, and Sunset Photographers is already online this morning. I see Linda Gabriel and Kelly Rodriguez is there. Happy belated anniversary to you and your husband there, Kelly. Sorry, didn't get a chance to mention that yesterday. The Brad Hewitt. He's already railing on something that still has not been fully investigated. Obama and Biden did a really good job assisting the Taliban with the outing of the team before they got stuck on the Chinook. That is interesting. Simon Sanchez online, Jennifer Dula, and Tony D'Angelo. Good morning, sir. Lillian Cruz is online. Gwen Timinglo getting ready to go back to school. Annette Ada Vasquez it's afternoon drive for her where she is at. And Annette, thanks so much for the selfie with you and what's her name on Facebook. Looking good as usual. Lillian Cruz is there saying, "Good morning, Ray, Kevin, and Michael. 2 cups needed for today. You suppose?" Dave Duenas and Richard Leon, Greg Karabrock from Take Care's online. I got John Ray Taitano saying good morning. Juanita Machi, former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez is on. He's finally, he says, yeah. And former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez, who is not on the front page today of the Guam Daily Post, is, however, on the front page of the Guam Daily News. The Pacific Sorrow, man, there's a... I just reverted to the 1960s, the Guam Daily News. Sorry, the Pacific Daily News. On the front page there, Gita fails to state justification for Gutierrez's travel this year. Uncle Carl. So, but it's not your fault, right? You were going on the missions, and it was Auntie Lou that said, he's 78 years old. Go ahead, put him in first class. He's only going to do Philippines. It's not like, it's 18 hours to here and there and all of that stuff. But apparently you got to get after the folks over at Gita to make sure that apparently there's a justification statement. Terry Brooks was asked, and he said there needs to be some kind of a justification statement made, and it has to be posted on the website by law. I don't know that the justification statements exist, but if they do, somebody got a gun, deck them, and stick them on the World Wide Web. Otherwise, you have your name in the front page of the newspaper again. Debbie Y saying, "Good morning, Ray and Kevin and Mike. So dark and wet and gloomy in Saipan. Your show brings some energy and brightness. Thanks." Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that this is one of the things that this program is good for. Every once in a while, we get some issues that bring on the frowny faces. But it is kind of interesting what's going on weather-wise and a few of the other things that are taking place here on Guam. Tony D'Angelo. Wow. You want to talk about your frowny face lines here. Tony says, "Let me be the first to say, impeach Lou and Josh. What a big mistake the voters made." I don't think you're the first to say that, I'm almost positive I've seen statements like that on this Facebook feed and other Facebook feeds. Marcus McManus saying, is that Uncle Carl? Yes, it is. Al Batista, Ken LG's online. I thought he would be. Leslie St. Nicholas listening to the broadcast in Hawaii. Eunice Mendio, how's the weather out there? Is it nice? How's the traffic out there? There every once in a while, I'll get jelly. I get some friends that'll go, oh, we're going. It's the summertime, so we're going to Hawaii. And I'm like, oh, man, I'd love to do some shopping at Ala Moana, go hang out. They've got a real nice place upstairs called Mai Tai's, good place to hang out while the women folk are doing the shopping downstairs. Or there's a Walmart there, as you know, on Oahu. It's Chamorros make a pilgrimage to there. And if they can't go inside, as they pass by, they will bow their head and make the sign of the cross as they pass by the Walmart. But the problem is when I think the traffic, I think somebody came out with a study that said the traffic in Hawaii might be the worst in the entire United States of America, on Oahu in particular.
Yeah, well, think about it. They're on an island that's not much bigger than Guam, but there's about 1 million people on it.
Yeah.
So
and just a handful of good roadways.
And there's a good portion of the island, like our south, that you cannot use for roads because it's all mountains. So, yeah.
It's tricky when you're driving around out there. I think the only other place where I've experienced worse travel, and if there's anybody up in Washington State that's listening on the broadcast right now, you'll agree with me, Federal Way, from about just before sunrise to about 9 o'clock at night, has got among the worst in the nation that I recall. Art Fact is online. I got Jose Martinez there, Ken LG. Says a revised state-of-the-island address and VIP with exhibits, and he's got a link that will take you to YouTube. Watch that after the show. Memorize the link, cut and paste it, stick it somewhere. Watch it after the show, this program here. Fredo Mendoza, Jeff Pleadwell is online, and there'll be plenty more as the broadcast gets going. Traffic jam, but awesome weather. Leslie St. Nicholas is saying about Oahu. If you can get to the beach, that'll be all right. Did I ever tell you why I didn't want to live in Hawaii? I'm sure I did, right? Because there's this certain level of and maybe Leslie can attest to this, there's a certain level of uptightedness. I'm a boy from an island, and it was fall of 1983. Yeah. That I chased a woman, school in Hawaii, and I thought this is going to be great. So I landed at Oahu, and they said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to the beach. And he said, okay, there's a beach. There's Wiki Wacky. We got a whole beach here. I said, great, we'll get a cooler, we'll get some beer. And he said, there's no drinking beer at Waikiki. You're only allowed to do that at, what is it? What's the military thing? Is it Bellows?
No idea,
you have
man.
no idea?
I was
You're
not
an
an
Oahu
Oahu
boy?
guy.
Anyway,
No.
so they said, no, you
See,
can't
that's
do
where
that.
you made your mistake.
Like,
you were on the wrong island.
Apparently so. And I said, well, just no problem. We'll go find someplace, another beach where we can, have a barbecue and drink at. And, we found a place, and I just wanted to light up a cigarette or something like that. And they said, no, there's no smoking on the beach. I said, well, wow, okay. Well, turn up the boombox. No, there's noise ordinances here. And all I could think of was, when is the next flight home? when can I get back to home to where I want to be? Oh, man, it happened again. 6:46 in the morning. Got to reset the system and get all kinds of other stuff happening. 888-8255. 888-TALK is the telephone number around here. Ray Gibson radio show on 93.3 The Point. Typing that in. And other items in the table of contents, besides some of the little bit small talk things that we've got going on. Gura is adding cameras to their systems. Did you see where that is happening? They decide they want to make the place safer, and so that's what they're off on. They've got all kinds of things that they want to put back together out there, and so they've got a number of cameras that are going to be going at the Gura offices as well as the Gura places. I think that's awesome. I'm a little bit, and maybe one of these days I'll talk with a security guy